Hello everybody, how is it going today? It's been a while since I've actually made a video, right? My apologies for the absence there. It's now May the 2nd, it's Wednesday, 2018 of course, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin. So it's about 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I was actually away just to get things ready for my vacation there, but it's not happening anymore. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I was going to head to Thailand and help out my friend Mel there, but she kind of canceled on me and she can't really hold on for another, say, 2, 3 weeks till I get there. And the goal was to help her when I get there, right? Just to kind of fund her crypto project and help out with her hack and teach her a little bit more about security. But unfortunately, she canceled on me and cannot wait another week. So what ended up happening was she got hacked, right? So I was gonna head there and start my little crypto project with her there and get her to give me a hand. And I was going to help her when I got there, right? I'm not really too comfortable sending anything to her crypto account right now because both of them are compromised. One is on hold for, I think, 28 days till she can access it again. And the other one, she just completely lost access to, right? So it makes no sense for me to send her crypto. And I even offered to send her like Western Union, but apparently she doesn't feel comfortable with me doing that. So, and then the other solution was me to just head there to give her a hand in person, but she apparently can't wait another week, right? Or sorry, 2, 3 weeks. So she said she's heading home, and unfortunately, she can't get help from her mom anymore. Her mom says you got to come back to Germany and get a job because I can't help you anymore. So I'm extremely disappointed that I even had a ticket already, right? It was all booked and everything. I even had my Airbnb booked. And so it's actually all canceled now. So I'm a little bit disheartened. Yeah, it kind of sucks because she was literally the only reason that I was going to head there. I don't know anybody. Well, I know people in Thailand, but the only reason I wanted to go there was to help her and to hang out with her, right? But c'est la vie, I guess. It's not happening anymore. And so what I'm working on right now is just kind of planning for a vacation in the summer, I suppose. That's going to happen. I keep planning for these vacations, but they just never happen. So I'm extremely disappointed and disheartened right now. So here I am, back to trading full time, I guess. And just so you guys know, I actually took down my tutorials list, right? The 24 tutorials that I had. And one of the big reasons why I took it down is because of just the lack of support in general, okay? I'm going to give you guys an example of the reason why I took it down. I simply believe that trading it should or just helping out in crypto in general, right? It should simply be about reciprocating the support. And I've kept everything free for a very long time. Yeah, so everything was free for a very long time, and I just didn't like the way things were trending with the way the reciprocation and the lack of respect there was. And all of my views combined for these 24 videos, they actually achieved about 500,000 views total, which is substantial, right? So, just as an example, this one right here, it was, let's see if I can actually show you guys it. Okay, I have access to it. They're all private now, right? Some of them are getting 100,000 views and even more, right? So some of them are getting tons of views. And this one's got 72,000 views, for example. So the main reason 500,000 views they were taken down is simply because there's lack of support, unfortunately, for people just showing their respect and just simply upvoting it. I mean, when you're getting 500,000 views, but you're only getting literally 677 votes, and I'm literally making only $6 over 677 votes, it's kind of disappointing. And that's how I've actually been able to keep everything free thus far. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to chase money. I'm doing okay for myself, but things could always be a lot better, right? But once again, because of the lack of support from the majority of, I guess, your guys' end, no offense to the people that have been supporting me, but because of that, unfortunately, it needs to be taken down. And another concept has to be introduced somehow, right? So I plan to be making a much, much better tutorial series that okay, let's just do the math really quickly, all right? if you guys do the math, right? If you think of any trading class that's available right now, they actually sell for anywhere up to $3,000 to $5,000, and I personally don't think that they're that good. I think that my material is actually one of the best out there because I've seen literally everything out already. I've seen what's good, I've seen what's not good, and when you combine the good and the not so good, and you make something even you try to focus on a better product, right? You take the goods from the awesome videos and you learn from the bad ones because, well, you learned what not to do. And after you've seen the good and the bad, you can kind of formulate a very good plan to help people become successful traders, right? So what I plan to do right now is I've had my first shot of creating a fairly decent to my standards. It was okay, right? But it could be a lot better. And I plan to make an even better tutorial series that I'm going to be charging a tiny amount for. So when you think of any university class, for example, right? Like when I teach a university class, like for example, when I took university classes, there were 3 hour and 20-minute classes a week, right? So that's 1.5 hours. Okay, so it's 1.5 hours times two. That's 3 hours of classes a week, which I'm sure all you college students are familiar with as well. And then per week, keep in mind. And then there's 3 months of classes with the last month dedicated for exams. So if there's 3 hours per week multiplied by 4 weeks in a month, that's actually 12 hours of classes. And then you multiply that by about 3 months, that's 36 hours of classes altogether, right? And you guys are paying literally, you're paying a lot of money for each class, right? You're paying like $1,500 per class, maybe even more than that, right? So I plan to be making an awesome tutorial package that's even going to be much better. I guarantee you guys it's going to be an even better source of courses and lessons for all the newer people and the people that have actually seen my videos already. You guys are going to realize that this is more so an introduction one, and the ones that I plan to make right now, they're going to be geared towards newer traders and experienced traders as well. So you're going to be taking the best of both worlds. For if you're a newcomer coming into the game right now, you're going to see tons of material that's going to be incredibly helpful. And I can guarantee that it will probably be one of the best tutorial packages that you guys will ever see on the internet available. And when you're thinking of a $1,500 class, right, for your university class or a $5,000 package, yeah, mine's gonna kick that out of the water. I plan to be charging anywhere between $15 to $20 per video, and there's only going to be about 10 to 15 videos total. So you're looking at like $300 total for an entire trading package. Okay, so if you guys, if you're going to criticize me, for example, for saying something like, okay, this guy's just after money now, or okay, this guy is, he's not staying true to his word, right? You also have to see it from my perspective as well, right? Where I've definitely given tons to the public already. I've already helped out as much as I possibly can before there's this line. Okay, guys, there's this line, right? That it needs to be reciprocated and respected on both of our parts, right? There needs to be mutual reciprocation and respect. But unfortunately, I could only do this for so long, which was about for 6 months now, before I start to feel like I'm simply being taken advantage of, right? And when people actually treat me like I'm some financial advisor, especially, or where they're trying to hold me accountable for the decisions that you guys make, right? These technical analysis should be taken with a grain of salt only. But when people are starting to overcross these boundaries in terms of trying to hold me accountable or treating me as a financial advisor of some sort, then yeah, I guess the model needs to be broken, unfortunately. Now, don't get me wrong, I still plan to have tons of these videos and technical analysis. Nothing's going to be different, guys. It's just I'm going to offer a training package because my goal is to ultimately help out the cryptocurrency community. So if I'm losing followers or subscribers because of this, then so be it. Then you guys are obviously not the people that have supported what I've done thus far. And because I'm selling a very small package compared to what other people are selling, you guys got to keep in mind that my material has literally been some of the most free material that you can possibly get on the internet when it comes to technical analysis and trading, right? So if you guys are once again are going to criticize me for breaking my model, then you clearly don't understand the feeling of having 170,000 subscribers and then being very much so feeling like you're being taken advantage of. Call me a crybaby or whatever if you want to. Unfortunately, that's my plan. Of course, no one is forcing you guys to purchase anything, but as you guys can see already from the material that I've produced and for the help and the tutorials that I've helped out with the public, I hope you guys understand that it's going to be awesome. I plan to have it released in less than 2 weeks, and I'm going to slowly be working on it throughout these 2 weeks. And hopefully, you guys can also support me as well by taking a look into it. If you find that they're going to help you, then absolutely purchase it. $15, $20, guys, for 2, 3 hours of training material. You simply just can't go wrong with it. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, guys. I'll be talking about this a lot more down the road, just to see who would be interested in taking a look at it, right? And once again, the goal is not to profit from this. The goal is to simply respect myself. And you guys need to understand that I don't like being walked over or walked on or taken advantage of in any way. And I want to keep everything as free as I possibly can. But this is definitely going to weed out the people that are treating me like garbage sometimes, or treating me as if I'm their financial advisor. So let's take a look at Bitcoin and where we've been standing. It's been a while since I've actually been gone. Now, before we begin, I'd always appreciate an upvote on Steemit for the little amounts of like when you guys take a look at my Steemit there, I can only do it for so long. I've been posting on this Steemit account for about 2 months now, and $900 is not really a lot of income. It's compared to other people, for example, when you guys are, I don't know if Hyjin's work is better than mine, because I believe that he personally just keeps pumping coins. Okay, guys? But when someone's making about $330,000, from their Steemit posts, $330,000, and when he's getting about $400 to 300, $400 per actual post, it just makes me wonder why I'm not actually respecting myself, right? And yeah, people definitely support Hyjin, but when you've got more followers on him than Twitter and on YouTube, people actually really support his work, right? And I just want you guys to support my work as well. But because of that lack of respect, one more time, guys, unfortunately, a new model has to simply be adopted, and that's what's going to happen there. But I really do hope that you guys will also support me because of all the work that I've done thus far, right? Once again, you guys can call me any names if you want to, call me betraying, whatever, right? But yeah, like I don't like to be taken advantage of, guys. It's not going to be like that at all in any way. So let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. So Bitcoin is it's doing awesome, guys. I mean, I thought we would actually have retraced a lot more than we were going to. If you guys see my last Steemit post over here, okay, take a look at this very quickly. I'm just gonna talk to you guys about what I have mentioned thus far here. So if we take a look at my Steemit post, check it out. Okay, so I was talking about this specific scenario right here, okay, where lots of hurdles to target two, $9,900, right? Target one was achieved very easily, 95.29. Target two was actually missed by a mere $120, I believe. And then if we broke down, we were going to see some possible support ranges up to 87.50. And I actually missed that target by $100. So even though my technical analysis, this one was done 9 days ago, it's still very holding very much so true right now. So let's take a look at CoinMarketCap. We are still very strong at $434 billion. Am I still holding my Bitcoin? Absolutely. I'm actually still holding tons of my Bitcoin. I carry about 20 Bitcoin right now that I'm holding for the very long haul. So if we take a look at the CoinMarketCap, we're having a hard time, guys. Very hard time breaking. Let's take a look at the 1 month high. We simply just can't break above the 430 billion dollar market right now. Or sorry, $430 million market cap. So let's take a look at the 24-hour volume as well for Bitcoin. If you guys take a look at the historical data, we're slowly dropping. We're slowly dropping in 24-hour volume, which usually means a few things. It can mean, hey, is people just not wanting to sell their Bitcoin, or are we getting ready for a very slow sell-off right now? Interesting. We reached over 10 and 11 billion dollars, and that hasn't happened in a very long time, guys. Let's take a look in the past 3 months. I'm sure February 6th we probably exceeded that. So we haven't reached 10, $11 billion. There you go. February 6th was the last time that we actually reached over $10 billion in 24-hour market value for volume, right? So we take a look at even further than that, you know, like late middle of January to December ranges, we were doing to over $10 billion every single day, right? And until we actually reach over $10 billion in terms of 24-hour volume, and we show a very steady trend to that range right there, there's not much that we can say about it getting some newer highs right now. So the first thing that I always recommend that people do is always draw your trend lines to make sure that you know where we are trending and what some of the relevant supports and resistances are, okay? So I'd like to draw it on the log scale for this particular time frame because we're looking at it all the way since December 17's downtrend, right? Take a look at this from December 17's downtrend. And the thing about this particular death cross is one of three things can happen. Now let me show you guys what can happen, okay? So the death cross happened here. For the people that are unfamiliar with what a death cross is, it is when the 50 moving average and the 200 moving average ends up crossing over. So take a look at this right here. So where you see this white line and this yellow line, that is where the death cross happened, right? The white line, the 200 moving average, it ends up resisting and gets above the 50 moving average, right? So then the yellow line ends up becoming below. Now, sometimes this can signal disaster. So one of three things can usually happen. The first thing is that the death cross happens and then we never golden crossover again. A golden crossover is when the 50 moving average ends up getting above the 200 moving average, okay? So what could happen, first thing, is death cross happens, right? And then we end up getting a golden crossover again, and then we never ever see a death cross again, okay? It just ends up going to the upside, right? The second thing that can happen is we get a death cross, the bulls make an attempt to go upwards, then we get a golden crossover, and then what happens is we end up death crossing again. So once again, that's death cross, and then golden crossover, and then death cross again, and then we get a very hard sell-off. Now the third thing that can happen is that this actually never ends up golden crossing again. We simply get a death cross, and we simply almost get a golden crossover, but it never actually happens, and we just end up downtrending. So that's the last thing that we actually want to happen, right? What we would like ideally to happen in the next, I'm guessing, 3, 4 days. Maybe not tomorrow. I really doubt it's tomorrow. Okay, in the next few days, what ends up happening is we end up, just going upwards, right? So right now, I'm actually expecting this particular zone right here, right in this lower barrier zone, as a hard support region. Okay, I'm talking about right where that white line is, specifically 8750. I think 8750 will be an incredibly strong, super strong support, right? So if that ends up holding, and then we could get a very viable golden crossover where we can just shoot up to the upside. So what has happened thus far is that Bitcoin right here ended up crossing over finally on this day, right? So the best time to have entered a position to go long was unfortunately right around 85.50, guys. That's where I've been mentioning so far to go upwards at 85.50 right there, right? But unfortunately, some people missed out on it. I'm still holding all of my Bitcoin, guys. I bought some. I didn't buy any right there, actually. Hold on, did I? I think I bought some over here. I can't remember what my dollar cost averaging price is, but I definitely bought a lot over here, right? So I'm still holding all of my Bitcoin right now, and they're not even trading, okay? They're all on a nano ledger right now, and it's something that I plan to hold all the way to 35, 30, 25, 25, 30, $35,000 because I'm bullish long term. You guys also need to remember and ask yourselves, am I bullish on Bitcoin, right? You need to make sure that you are bullish on Bitcoin for the long haul. I know a lot of investors right now and a lot of people that play with significant amounts of Bitcoin or capital in general, and their principal positions are massive, right? But they're scared to buy Bitcoin because they think that they're more so adopting a trading or a swing trading mentality. And if you guys need to decide whether you're day traders, swing traders, or investors, right? if you're an investor and you're looking to hold this for a long term, guys, I mean, what is the difference between $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 swings? Think of the overall long term projection of Bitcoin. It is certainly going to reach well over its all time high this year. And you guys really, really need to understand that Bitcoin is here to stay. It is not going anywhere, guys. It's going to reach some astronomical highs right now. And a lot of people who, the smart money and the people that are not scared and the people that actually know how to stay the game, they're going to become immensely rich from holding their Bitcoin. So just buy on every dip. Honestly, guys, that's what I'm not trying to give you guys financial advice, but that's simply what I'm doing. I'm literally buying on every single dip. Okay. I buy on, the 6K dips, the 7K dips, the 8K dips, and whether it's going down $1,000 or $2,000, whether it's swinging plus or minus 10%, I personally don't really care about the short-term projection of Bitcoin. I care about what's going to happen in 2020, what's going to happen in 2025, right? Bitcoin is going to reach some immense number, guys. It's going to reach some crazy highs. And if you guys are scared investors, you're going to be missing out on some of the biggest possible gains of your life, right? So make sure you guys are just get rid of that fear. Please get rid of that fear and understand that Bitcoin is going to get some very high numbers. So I'm gonna do an Elliott wave count for you guys sometime later. But here's the high, right, that it reached at 97-ish. 97.67 there. And I mentioned that if we broke around the 9900 barrier, that we would actually, we're going to get some massive resistance. And I actually chose my 9900 barrier simply from just down over here, right? Right around there. So if we take a look at the fib range right now, right, we take a look at the Fibonacci retracement, say from the interim high, what we're seeing is it actually just breached it, guys. It just breached it and went right into this golden pocket right there. For the people that are unfamiliar, the golden pocket is the region between the 0.618 and the 0.65 Fibonacci numbers right there, okay? So it got to the Fibonacci region right here, and that's where, of course, a big resistance was hit. So according to my projections, near 9900 and also the fib range right here, we actually hit some fib resistances already. Now, if we go even further backwards over here, what we see is it's also hitting another fib resistance right here. Actually, I'll show you guys again before I even delete it. We hit the 236 fib region right there, right? Of course, the next viable target would be $11,500, right? So here's what I think, guys, okay? I'm going to show you guys what I think. I believe that if we break 10K, that we're going to project all the way to these particular highs right there, around 11,500 to $11,750, right? But if we get to there, we actually need to hold these particular regions first, okay? So my hard support region right now is 8750. If we hold there, I plan to buy a lot more Bitcoin because I plan to hold for a very long time. And no, guys, I am not scared whatsoever of small fluctuations in prices once again. So what I'm seeing here as well is this reaching a resistance right now? Right? Is that actually reaching a resistance right here? And are we going to downtrend to one of these lower numbers? Possibly. So this is kind of the pattern according to a symmetric triangle, right? Symmetric triangles, let me show you guys triangles in general. So we have a descending or an ascending triangle, which goes something like that, where if this actually forms, there's a good chance for it to break to the upside, right? And then if we have a descending triangle, like this right here, okay, we have a descending triangle, then usually it ends up breaking to the downside. But what we have right now is a symmetric triangle. And in this symmetric triangle, there's a very strong likelihood of it breaking either way. So symmetric triangles are very much so difficult to play. There's a lot of pressure coming down, right? And there's a lot of pressure going up. Supply is meeting demand, okay? But what we want to know is that going to break up or is this going to break down? So as soon as it breaks this pattern, we'll have a much more so definitive pattern of what's going to happen, right? If it breaks down from there, guys, I firmly believe, once again, that we're going to hit some sort of resistance around 8750, okay? That's going to be my hard resistance number, right around this range, okay? That's going to be one of my literally like my first support region. It needs to hold there, in my opinion, for it to remain much more so bullish. And of course, on the lower barrier, if it does end up breaking that, and that does not hold simply because it ends up breaching, right? It ends up breaching um the um the 200 moving average specifically, right? And then unfortunately, we could possibly see a sell-off to around the 8,500 to the 8K range. But it's very difficult for me to give a more definitive answer than that until we actually get closer because I'm a day trader, right? And because I'm a day trader, unfortunately, I got to play it one step at a time. But if it does end up breaking above 9,900, we can expect a pretty massive rally all the way up to 11,500 to $11,750. So I just wanted to keep this very short to give you guys some possible resistances and supports. And in my next update tonight, I'll be doing an Elliott Wave analysis to give you guys a much more detailed overview of where we stand with Elliott Wave. So it's first of all very important to familiarize myself with where we are with supports and resistances. And other than that, I'll keep you guys updated further down the road. And one thing I want to make note of as well is that this is much more so starting to approach the negative side, right? MACD crossover could very much so happen very soon. So that's why I'm saying that in a few days, we're going to see if we can actually get a positive histogram tick where we just keep going upwards like that. Okay, if we actually end up going upwards like that and we don't even get to the negative side on the histogram, we can expect a very large rally because it'll be so more so very close, right? So, and we also have to ask, like, is this kind of like an invert flag formation that's going to end up going to the downside? So, and I'll give you guys also a very detailed RSI analysis as well because we want to talk about Brown consensus RSI rules as well to see where this is possibly going to trend. But just looking at it generally right now, guys, like we're not looking that bullish, right? We just got a rejection all the way from $50 rejection is not much right now for a sideways trend, but we are getting on the 2-hour chart a very bearish spinning top with a double tweezer combination like that. So other than that, thank you very much for all the support and love that you guys have given me so far. And I apologize once again for I guess my demeanor and just general attitude. Um, yeah, like I guess there's a lot more to it going on than that in real life. I'll talk more about that in some of my other videos. I know you guys don't like to hear about my stories too much and so on. So other than that, I apologize, sort of, for taking down my tutorial videos. I plan to make a much, 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 much better tutorial series that will come out in about 2 weeks for you guys. That will be anywhere between $15 to $20 per video. And they will be anywhere between, I'm guessing, an hour to 3 hours, depending on the video and how much material there is. It's going to conclude, or it's going to include tons and tons of examples, right? We're going to go over a lesson of what it is and how I personally use it. And then after that, we're going to go over tons of examples as well that will give you guys a very good overview. And I can guarantee with 100% certainty that if you actually get through all of these new tutorials that I'm doing, that will only cost like 15 to 20 per video, or maybe between 3 to 400 for over 10 videos that will be totaling about 30 hours. If you guys can actually get through every single one of those videos, I can guarantee if you understand all of it, that you put the theory into practice, that you are going to become, no doubt, a successful trader over time. Because, well, anyone who supports me through my videos that I make, I'm going to be 100% sure to support you guys as well. And that's just how it is. So other than that, baby whales, have yourselves a great day. Thank you for everything you've done for me thus far. I apologize for my demeanor at the beginning of the video, but unfortunately, I've got to start respecting myself immensely as well, right? Because the feeling of just being used, it's just never a good feeling, okay? And the fact that yeah, people are walking over me online. I don't like that, guys. I don't like that at all. So have yourselves a great day, and thank you very much for everything. Bye now.